Good morning. It is what time? 7 o'clock a.m. on Sunday, January 27th, 2019. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. Well, I'm showered, contact lenses in. This is 5 more minutes. I'm up earlier on Sunday than I might typically be because I have a lot to do today. But first and foremost, of course, is my Gravity Falls rewatch continuation with Season 1, Episode which? 12, I think? I'm going to have that in a second. Yes! I was right. Episode 12. Don't you ever doubt me. The episode entitled Summerween, which is a fun, silly episode. I love the concept of Summerween. It feels so obviously like a concept that came out of, well, we want to do a Halloween episode, but this whole story is a pretext on the idea that these kids are here for the summer. So how do we do a Halloween episode in the summer? Well, what if this town loves Halloween so much that they do 2 of them per year with one in the regular time and one in June? And the June one is Summerween, and instead of pumpkins, you use watermelons to make jack-o'-lanterns. That's so fun. I love that idea. And the watermelons as jack-o'-lanterns is just inspired. And I just love that idea. And then, of course, having a weird local legend thing, the Summerween Trickster. Sure, why not? Now, obviously, the theme of this episode, beyond the main plot of dealing with the actual Summerween Trickster, is, of course, that Dipper is starting to try to feel more grown up, starting to think maybe he's too grown up for trick-or-treating. And in the meantime, he is leaving Mabel behind a little bit, and that's hard for her because, of course, what they've always done is twin costumes, and that's a whole thing. And so for him to leave her out of that and want to not do it anymore, that makes it that's challenging. So it's. Sorry, I'm trying to focus on too many things at once. Got a message about the thing that I'm going to be doing after this. But, so we have, and we've seen this theme of Dipper sort of at least wanting to feel grown up sooner than Mabel. We've seen that developing. I mean, for the fact that Mabel has made friends her own age, whereas Dipper really hasn't. And that's primarily because his focus has instead been on his crush on Wendy, which makes him feel like he wants to be older. And so he's really not made any other friends. And he's crushing on Wendy instead, right? And so he wants to feel older. He wants to go to this party he hears about. And of course, trick-or-treating. What? That's something babies do. And so for him to, be wanting to leave Mabel in the lurch like that is a little bit of a betrayal. And so his first instinct there is to pretend he's sick, which I think all of us want to just go, Dipper, that's not cool. That's your current desires, while understandable and reasonable in many respects, like just if you are feeling like you don't want to trick-or-treat anymore, that's a fair reaction to have, even if it will hurt Mabel's feelings. But lying about it just makes it worse. And especially since we get the reveal later that Mabel was fully aware that they're getting older. And that makes it all the more important for them to actually go trick-or-treating in her mind, because who knows how many left. And the sad way that she says, I didn't realize that it was already the last time. That's, that is a sad reaction, and Dipper has, he's going to feel bad as a result, but it's still, he messed up. Lying was not the cool way to do it. And of course, in the A plot, the actual plot of dealing with the Trickster, his dual impulses of trying to be dishonest on both ends, because he's also lying to Wendy about, the fact that he's involved with this trick-or-treating thing, almost costs everybody their lives. And so I think that that's, using this kind of a show to tell a story about, real emotional issues, combined with I'm distracting myself with my brain spinning ahead too many steps. Combining a story about a real emotional issue with the fantastical stuff that works as a kind of metaphor. Yeah, it's nice. It's just consequences, right? It's the Trickster is there to prove that he shouldn't do what he's been doing. Now, the actual big reveal that this Summerween Trickster, their whole thing is actually not so much about Summerween spirit as much as the bitterness and resentment of the bad candy that nobody likes, and people suggesting that people throw it away, and then it's resentful that nobody wants to eat it. In my experience, there's not a lot of Halloween candy that actually gets thrown away. I feel like even the bad candy, people make it work a lot of the time. But I don't know, maybe that's me. Maybe I'm the Seuss in this story of doesn't mind eating even bad candy. But in any event, we got a lot of fun stuff in this episode. Everyone, doing their costume thing. The Summerween Trickster design is pretty cool. Having this weird sort of strange amorphous blob thing, wearing this weird little smiley mask and a scarecrow costume, and then later morphing into this big shape like No Face from Spirited Away. Very cool stuff there. That's lots of fun. The payoff of the gag about the alien chestburster is good, because of course in Stan's subplot where he's trying to scare these two kids, he earlier made Waddles come out of his shirt like a chestburster, and then to have Seuss get eaten by the Trickster but then come out eating a candy heart is pretty fun. And then the Summerween Trickster crying candy corn tears and barfing up Skittles. That's good stuff as far as I'm concerned. And so even though I think overall the plot of this one is it's more style than substance, but I love the style, the whole Summerween thing. I love that so much that I don't mind in the slightest. And so, what we have, though, is Dipper, who is in this awkward adolescent phase of he's not really a kid anymore, but he's also not really a teenager yet. And he's feeling the need to lie on both sides. Not good. Not good. Now, the tricky thing, of course, as, this plot of his crush on Wendy has developed, is that it's probably true that she sees him as a kid and, or at the very least recognizes him as an adolescent, but does she return his feelings? Would she be romantically interested if he just said so? Probably not. We don't know, because he hasn't said so. But I think we can also infer that that's probably true. Even just the visuals of how they're drawn, it's made it clear to us she is much older and more mature than he is. And she's very friendly and encouraging, and she likes Dipper, and so she wants to bring him along and include him. But it doesn't seem likely that she would return his feelings, and so we can see where this is a useful tool for exploring unrequited crushes. I don't know. That's me, but, in the meantime, we don't really have much development on the Robbie front this time. It's mostly, Wendy and Robbie are together. And so Dipper's stuck there. But in the meantime, Mabel's really the emotionally healthy one here, even though she gets her feelings hurt this time because Dipper betrays her and lies to her face. And then, literally gets hurt on the elbow when the Summerween Trickster grabs them. Because Dipper threw all their candy in a ditch by accident. Anyway, I think, just to briefly touch again on Stan's little subplot, it's kind of a fun thing to watch him keep escalating everything, but then to be the sad old man naked in the shower, or still wearing boxers, I guess is the reveal. Like, when the kids get scared and run away, it makes it, we only see sort of from behind where it seems like maybe Stan was naked, and then the reverse shot is he's actually still got boxers on. But that being what actually scares the kids, it's a little predictable, but it's still fun. But more fun is all of the different ways he tries to scare them up front. And it's a pretty solid episode, I think. So in the meantime, I think that probably does it for today. And we will return to Gravity Falls next week for Boss Mabel. And in the meantime, I'll talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes. But because I have a lot on the schedule today, I'm just going to toss out that on Twitch today, not only are Mike and I going to be doing our introduction to our 2019 Oscar movie marathon, but then after that, we're also, there's going to be a new episode of This Space for Rent, the Space Casey RPG. So lots of stuff on the plans for today, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes, but all of those other things will have happened before then. So that's it.